Today I want to talk to you about what menopause actually is and how it's not the end of the world. I want to talk about actually how it's advantageous as we age. Menopause is officially diagnosed after you've gone 12 whole months without having a period. That's it. It's the day your uterus sends its final triumphant out of office reply. So who are the key players? And we've got a few. Oestrogen is our boss, the queen, the head honcho, whatever you want to call it. She's been running the show since puberty. She helps with everything, regulating your periods, keeping your bones strong, and even making your brain feel sharper. During the change, during perimenopause, estrogen is declining and she's slowly clocking out. The levels can be wildly fluctuating, basically like a really bad Wi-Fi signal. 1 minute you've got 4 or 5 bars and the next minute there's nothing. She's disconnected and bam, you get hot flushes, your brain fog kicks off and you feel like crap. She's basically packed her bags and basically forgets to turn the thermostat off as she's leaving. So progesterone is the chill pill. This is your Zen master, and the role for progesterone is to calm, is a mood soothing agent. And progesterone preps the uterus and also helps you sleep. Progesterone is the first one to leave, the one that makes you calm and helps you get that deep quality of sleep. And when she leaves the chat early, what do you get? Anxiety, insomnia. Suddenly you're awake at 3 o'clock in the morning, organising your spice rack, asking yourself, where is progesterone? I need my calm. Progesterone also helps keep the mood level, and why a lot of women get a little bit irritated around this time. We've then got FSH and LH, and they're like middle management. Follicular stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone are the two managers in your brain, which basically talk to the pituitary gland, and they send the emails, the hormones, to the ovaries. And as the ovaries stop responding because the egg factory is shutting down, the brain starts screaming louder and louder. FSH are spiking because they're desperately yelling, is anybody there? Send us an egg. We need an egg. High FSH levels are often a key indicator of menopause, reflecting the brain's futile attempts to kick the ovaries into gear. Physical effects are caused by the hormonal dip, and many women experience these, and they do include the classic brain fog, which we're going to talk about. When the two main hormones that have been sending clear signals to your brain for 30 years suddenly go quiet, you get a bit of white noise, a bit of static, and that's your brain fog. Your brain isn't broken, it's just trying to figure out this whole new operating system that nobody's taught it. The next big symptom is the hot flushes. And this is where estrogen kicks again. It's the final mic drop for estrogen. The rapid drop in her levels confuses the body's internal thermostat, which is the hypothalamus, and you think that you're overheating, so it hits the aircon and you start sweating like you just ran a marathon in a winter coat. And that's the science. It's really dramatic, but basically your body is just tidying up the reproductive side of your body and shifting all that energy that it's been using to make us the most amazing human beings. And it shifts so we've got time to do all this other stuff. In the West, we often treat menopause like a disease. It's a decline, an end to be whispered about through a medical lens, like it's a problem that needs to be fixed. But what if everything you've been taught to fear about this transition is incomplete? What if in other parts of the world, this exact same biological process isn't seen as an ending at all, but as the beginning of a woman's true power, a moment of ascension? This is the moment a woman can become a respected matriarch, and her experience of it can be surprisingly different. Some studies show women in cultures that view menopause more positively report fewer symptoms than women in cultures that frame it as a loss. The key isn't some, magic pill. It's about perspective. In this video, we're going to uncover how you can adopt this powerful mindset, reframe your journey and transform menopause into a victory lap, not a battle. We have a problem called whisper culture, and let's be honest, the story that most of us, including myself, have been told about menopause is pretty much an overwhelmingly negative. It's often shrouded in silence and, for many women, shame. The word itself conjures images of us of our losing our vitality, our reverence, and we're handed a list of symptoms: hot flushes, night sweats, brain fog, joint pain, and told that this is our unfortunate reality and just get on with it. It's presented as an end to youth, the end to fertility, and in many ways, the end to our visibility in society. This perspective is so common we rarely stop to question it. The idea of menopause as a medical problem and ovarian failure was heavily promoted to sell treatments. It's a narrative that ties a woman's worth directly to her ability to have children, suggesting that once that's over, she's somehow a lesser individual. This viewpoint not only is disempowering, it's factually incomplete. It erases wise women from our history, our grandmothers, our great-grandmothers, who lived vibrant, powerful lives after their period stopped. And this negative mindset can have a real physical impact. A systematic review of multiple studies confirmed that women with more negative attitudes towards menopause generally report more symptoms. Another study found a strong link between the severity of symptoms and lower life satisfaction, while positive attitudes were linked to higher life satisfaction. Our bodies appear to listen to the stories our culture tells us. So if our perception of menopause might be making it worse, what's the alternative? If we talk about a solution, we also need to talk about cultural reframing. This brings us to a fascinating discovery. The experience of menopause is not universal. Dr. Jane Minkin, a gynecologist at Yale Medical School, explains that in societies where age is revered and the older woman is seen as wiser, menopausal symptoms are significantly less bothersome and lower. If we take a quick trip around the world, in Japan, the word for menopause is Konenki. Apologies if that's not correct. And that reflects concepts of renewal, of season and energy. It's seen as a natural transition. And while Japanese women still go through menopause, studies have shown that they report fewer vasomotor symptoms like hot flushes compared to women in North America. In traditional Chinese medicine, as you can see, I'm a herbalist, I'm an acupuncturist, menopause is poetically called the second spring. It's seen as a rebirth, when a woman's energy, once used for reproduction, is freed up to nourish her own spirit. This isn't about loss. It's about a profound energetic shift that allows for new vibrancy and creativity. In some Indigenous cultures, post-menopausal women step into the role of respected elders and keepers of wisdom. While experiences vary widely across different communities, some don't even have a specific word for menopause. It's simply a natural part of life's journey that can grant women greater status and also respect. For Mayan women, menopause has been seen as a welcomed event, bringing freedom from strict taboos they observe during their menstrual years. In parts of India, menopause is a time of celebration and liberation, where women who spent their childbearing years in relative seclusion gain new social freedoms and are no longer bound by certain restrictive roles. The common thread here is powerful. In cultures that celebrate this transition, women can physically experience it differently. Their bodies aren't failing, they're upgrading. They're moving from being the mother of their own children to a mother of the community, a respected matriarch, a wise woman. Pretty amazing how a simple shift in perspective can change things. If you want me to explore the specific lifestyle and dietary habits of these cultures, such as the role of soy in traditional Japanese diet, let me know in the comments and I'll make a follow-up video. So let's circle back. The solution and the wise women hypothesis, this cultural wisdom, is actually backed by a leading evolutionary theory. For a long time, scientists were puzzled from a purely reproductive standpoint. Why would humans, unlike other animals, live for decades after they can no longer have children? One of the most compelling answers is a theory called the grandmother hypothesis. I like to call it the wise woman hypothesis. This theory proposes that menopause isn't a mistake, but a brilliant evolutionary adaptation. It suggests that a woman's value to her community isn't just in her having her own children, but ensuring the survival of future generations. By stopping her own reproduction, a grandmother could redirect her energy and knowledge to help her existing children and grandchildren thrive. She becomes an extra pair of capable hands, helping gather food, providing care, and passing down critical wisdom. We know this with elephants. They're one of the few creatures that also does this. Studies of hunter-gatherer societies like the Hadza in Tanzania have shown that grandmothers play a crucial role in foraging for food that their grandchildren need to survive. Under this theory, postmenopausal women aren't obsolete, they're essential. They're the heart of humanity. Menopause isn't a biological accident, it's an evolutionary superpower that has strengthened society for millennia. So when you experience a hot flush, instead of seeing it as a weakness, you can reframe it as a sign of this evolutionary strength. As Dr. Jane Gunter says, you can think, I have this because women have evolved to drive humanity. So how do we apply this empowering knowledge to our own lives, especially if we're not in a culture that automatically celebrates aging? Well, we create our own culture. We become the architects of our own second spring. First, it starts with a conscious mindset shift. You're not declining, you're ascending. Every time a negative thought about menopause creeps in, replace it with the image of the wise woman, okay? You are accumulating a lifetime of experience and intuition. This isn't the end of your value, it's the peak. Studies consistently suggest a link between a positive outlook and reporting fewer symptoms, which shows just how powerfully your perspective can be. Secondly, nourish your body properly for this new chapter. This isn't just about fighting disease, it's about supporting a powerful transition. For many women, this includes medical guidance and support, which can be valid and necessary on your path. It can also include lifestyle practices, herbal medicine, acupuncture, a Mediterranean style diet rich in plants and healthy fats to help support us. We need to support our muscle and bone density because they can decline. Strength training is incredibly important, and some women enjoy things like massage, getting their nails done, anything that makes you feel better. Some anecdotal reports suggest that herbal medicines like sage, ginseng or licorice may help with symptoms like hot flushes. As a herbalist myself, I highly recommend herbal medicine, but only with a properly qualified practitioner like myself. For too long, the story of menopause has been told to us in whispers. It's time to tell it ourselves. Talk about your experiences with openness and curiosity. When you view this stage as a time of renewal, you give others permission to do the same. You start building a new culture around you, one that celebrates wisdom, celebrates freedom, and celebrates the power that comes with age. Menopause doesn't have to be seen only as a medical condition to be cured or fixed. It is a profound and natural transition, and it needs to be honoured. In the West, we've been handed a story of loss and decline. But as we've seen, cultures around the world offer a different narrative, one of empowerment, reverence and renewal. From the second spring in China to the wise women's status in certain Indigenous communities, the message is really clear. Menopause can be the beginning of the woman's most powerful years. by embracing the insights from leading theories like the grandmother hypothesis, and understanding that our mindset can shape our physical experiences, we can transform our journey. We can choose to see this not as an ending, but as an ascension. This is your time to step into your power, own your wisdom, and rule your world, not in spite of menopause, but because of it. You are not alone on this journey. To build our own culture of empowerment, we need to share our stories. What positive change or new freedom have you discovered during this phase of your life? Share your wise woman moments in the comments below, and let's create a space where menopause is celebrated. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content that empowers you to your own health and embrace your best years. Bye for now.